Welcome to the On Home and Office podcast series, featuring technology tips from expert authors in home and office computing, part of the On Podcast Network at informit.com. For great deals on Mr. Excel's books and videos, visit informit.com/Mr. Excel.
Hey, welcome back to the On Home and Office podcast. I'm Bill Jelen. Okay, so we've recorded a couple of macros and we have the perfect macro, but we need a way to run it, an easy way to run it. And when we recorded the macro, we used that weird shortcut key. What was it? Control-Shift-B? I mean, how are you supposed to remember that, frankly? So there's many different ways to run macros, some easy and some hard. Let's take a look. One way is to train the people using the spreadsheet to go to Tools, Macro, Macros, and choose the item and click Run, but frankly, no one's ever going to do that. If you're a hardcore macro person, you're going to learn that Alt F8 is a way to get that to display, and you can click Run, but again, I can't see that a lot of people are going to do that. So what we can do is we can add an icon to the toolbar that will run your macro. So let's go to Tools and Customize, and in the left category, we're going to look for macros. Now, most of these categories, have dozens of icons. The macros category, though, it only has two. A smiley face and something called custom menu item. The smiley face. I hate the smiley face. I despise the smiley face. It's horrible. I'm not putting a smiley face on my toolbar. But then the other item is nothing. I have a choice between a smiley face or nothing. All of a sudden, smiley face isn't so bad. So take the smiley face up, drag it, drop it on any toolbar. Now here's the trick. Don't close the Customize dialog box. We have to customize that smiley face while the dialog is open. So we're going to right click and we're going to say Assign Macro. So I'm going to assign that macro to Format Blue. We'll click OK. We're also going to right click and change the tooltip. So here in the name, instead of Custom Button, we're going to say Format Blue. All right, now when we close that, we can now hover. We can see what it's going to do. When we click it, it's going to run the macro. Very cool. All right, now let's talk about this. Customize. I make fun of them. They only have two icons. That's not quite true. There are 48 icons in there. If you go in, you can change the button image, and you have all of these choices. None of them make me think of Format Blue. The deck of cards is more blue than the others. Okay. I was at a seminar once, and he says, hey, this frowny face, that guy seems kind of blue. Bad joke. Okay. So we can use the deck of cards. Another seminar, I get great ideas at my seminars, and then I got this idea. Someone says, hey, wait, what are you talking about? Right click, edit the button image, and you can come in here and create your own icon. With all due respect to the guy who suggested this, he has too much time on his hands. His manager needs to give him more work to do. This is a Photoshop guy who somehow got stuck working with numbers. I lose interest long before I can ever get to the point where I would complete this icon. So it's there. I reject that as a viable way of running the macro. Some other things we can do is we can run the macro from a button. If we go to View, Toolbars, and choose the Forms toolbar, there's a nice command button there. We can just draw that button on the screen. We can change the words to say Run Macro and assign it to our macro. Format Blue, I guess, would be a good thing. And then we can simply choose a cell, click the icon, choose a cell, click the icon. Now, it turns out that any object on the sheet can run the macro. I once saw a spreadsheet that was designed for the sales force. All right, so someone in accounting created a workbook that the sales force was supposed to fill out. And it had several worksheets, and they didn't trust that they could get from one worksheet to the next. So they actually recorded a macro that would go to the next sheet, and they had it assigned to a duck, or in this case, a toucan. So basically they said, when you're done, click the toucan, and they actually photoshopped the toucan so it was pointing to the right, actually pointed in the right direction. Just right click the picture, you can assign a macro to the picture, and basically they trained the sales force that to go on, you clicked the picture and it would run the macro. So many different ways to run macros other than just using the shortcut key. You can assign it to an icon, you can assign it to a picture, you can assign it to a button, and have many different ways for your people using your spreadsheet to go through and run the macro.
Thanks for watching the On Home and Office podcast. For more episodes, check us out in iTunes or at informit.com/On Home and Office. Stay tuned for a word from Q Publishing. Q Publishing creates user-friendly technology guides on home and office technologies. Whether you're looking for beginner or advanced information on hardware, software, and gadgets, Q has the solutions you need to learn more fast. We publish a wide array of series to meet your learning needs, including the Business Solutions series, which focuses on everyday business programs such as Excel and Access. The Easy series is geared toward the visual learner looking for step-by-step instructions. The Live Lesson series are video training DVDs, which feature hours of personal instruction with an expert trainer. The On Demand series cuts straight through the clutter, providing concise and graphically rich guides. The Special Edition Using series features instruction from industry-recognized experts on topics such as Office, Photoshop, Windows, and Mac OS. Check out all our series today at informit.com/Q.